weapon. The pressure in my head just keeps dropping. It's like shifting. I cannot focus. It's like it's like too much. It's too, I can't explain it. Like someone's taking your process and like disrupting, like your mind. It's like it goes in a line like this, and someone's throwing it off track and just keeps shocking your head so that it creates a spark, right? And that spark, all the little like the fire that comes out of it sparks, right? And it goes in all these different directions. So someone's shocking my head, and it like your mind gets back on track, but it takes a minute to calibrate. And I'm constantly like, I'm feeling like there's too much going on because they're constantly electrocuting my head while I'm driving, and it's dropping, and my blood pressure is dropping. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're talking in my head with a war weapon. Do you hear me? The terrorists, they're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists, don't want me explaining that they're talking in my head because people want to know why they're explaining why they're using this war weapon when they don't have shit to offer. They're talking in my head with the war weapon. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. There are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists getting offended because I want them sentenced to death because of instead of them just getting the fuck out of my head, they keep attacking me. They don't want me to explain, so they keep hurting me rather than to get the fuck out of my fucking head. Like, what the fuck? What does that mean? Are they stupid? These bitches are really fucking airheads, dude. I want them sentenced to death. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're trying to get me to commit suicide. They're screaming in my head every second of the day. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're making me dizzy, and they keep saying they want me to die. They're like, we want you effing this, you effing that. We're gonna blow your brains out. Of course, all they got to do is, like I said, the blow to my head is literally my blood pressure in my head is dropping while I'm driving. They're trying to make it sound like its voice is coming from outside when they're not. They're talking in my head solely. Nobody hears them. Nobody, if anybody heard what these terrorists have said to me, they would have called the cops already. That's why the terrorists don't want me around anybody, because they want to say all that shit and make it sound like they're investigating me when they're not. They're murdering me. They're the ones murdering me, and they're trying to make it sound like what I'm hearing is coming from outside, and they're investigating to find out who it is. And at the same time trying to make it sound like I'm violent. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're manipulating records produced with the telepathy weapon that they're using to talk into my head. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking. One of them just said, fuck you. Just like that. Swear to God. In my head. Like a psycho bitch. That's a murderer she's trying to play it down like it's not murder, like this isn't something that's serious. And on top of it, they can play with your mind to make you feel feelings of hate, feelings of hurt, feelings of confusion, feelings of feeling extremely happy, feeling like you're fiending for something. They can do to you with this weapon that they're using to talk inside my head. They can make you sleepy. They can make you wide awake and play with your head so that your mind isn't like producing what it needs to produce so that you can start to fall asleep. They're trying to manipulate my sleep schedule so that I'm asleep during the day and up all night. Or I wake up late and my day gets started late. They're sick in the head. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I want them sentenced to death. They won't get the fuck out of my head. Instead, they get mad when I say I want them sentenced to death. And instead of getting the fuck out of my head, they continue to abuse me. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what in God's name? Get the fuck out of my head. The bitch is talking in my head. There are Egyptian American Muslim psychopath terrorists talking inside my head. They don't want me getting ready for my sister's birthday party or doing anything. They're calling me stupid trash. I don't know them. They're murdering me because the weapon produced records, and the only way they can destroy those records is if all to the crimes are dead. So they're trying to make it look like we've all died because of drug addiction or suicide, but nothing that is looks like a crime. But at the same time, they want to make it sound like it needed investigating, so that they could stay behind the weapon. And they're like, well, I'm sure they're saying, well, where are the drugs coming from, or where are they? They're psycho. They're psycho. And then I don't know what they're saying about cigarettes and alcohol. These are the bitch talking in my head are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They need to be sentenced to fucking death. Do you hear me? I want you to stop explaining that. I hear you in my head. She's psycho. She's trying to egg me on, so they try to keep. When they see I'm in pain, they try to keep like they'll escalate to see if they could stir me up to get me kicked off of YouTube. To see if they could get me saying inappropriate things that would get me kicked off of YouTube, so that I don't live stream, so that there's no evidence that what I'm hearing in my head isn't coming from outside. It's solely in my head. I want it to be 100% known. I hear terrorists, Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists, talking inside my head who are not in proximity to be captured on my live stream. Do you understand me? Yeah. They don't want me saying that, and they don't, the terrorists don't want me saying that, and you know how I know? Because every time I say it, they're like, ha ha, her neighbors are going to think she's crazy. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're talking in my head. They're sick in the fucking head. They need to be sentenced to death. They don't want to get out of my head, and they get upset when I say I hear them in my head and I want them sentenced to death for it. They're hurting me. I can't eat. They're suffocating me. They don't want me to enjoy my food. They want me to feel miserable all day long until I get addicted to something, okay? Or basically they manipulate me to smoke or drink or do something in the name of I'm an adult and I can do whatever I want and you're way more criminal than I'll ever be. Kind of like they're trash. Or to get me to commit suicide. Yeah. It takes you way too long to do your hair. Or it takes you way too long. It takes you forever to do your hair, honey. Go get ready right now.
Okay.
Because you're like, oh, my hair. Don't touch my hair. It has to dry. I can't go right now. It has to dry. I don't have time for that. It's almost 3. Leah, now. I still have to drive an hour to Orange. So we actually have to be done by 6. Do you hear me? We have to be done by 6. You have 3 hours. That's how long it actually takes you to get ready. The women, the Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head right now just said, haha, Leah's my little puppet. I can basically make her take her time so that you never do anything. And make it look like she's obnoxious and snobby. They're Egyptian American Muslim women. I want them sentenced to fucking death. Do you hear me? I will never stop explaining. I want them sentenced to death. My hair keeps falling out. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I want them sentenced to death. Do you hear me? The women. Because they're like, ha, no one would ever suspect that we're terrorists. Ha, 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 you look like a dog. We made your hair fall out. And then they're like, when I'm like, you know what? There are so many people that will sentence you to death. I'm done talking. She's like, who's protecting you? Not a hair on my head has ever fallen out. They're Egyptian American Muslim women. Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists murdering me. They're talking in my head. And the things they've said about how stupid Nancy is to think that it was Rebecca Grossman who hit her kids. They're like, no, we did it. Ha ha, ha ha. They murdered her kids. The terrorists talking in my head murdered her kids. And they're laughing at how they defamed. They're like, haha. And not only that, we're the ones who walked her kids in front of her car. The terrorist talking in my head wants me feeling insecure. She said they're going to write you off like you are crazy. She means she's going to get sentenced to fucking death. We're going to get investigated, bitch. That's where I'm at, cunt. Alright, one more spin and I'm done. Don't eat out of my ice cream. Where did this big tub go? It's almost empty. How crazy. They just burned my head right here. I don't care that you're a woman. I'm not your dad or your mom. Your brother. Go get sense to death, bitch. The stupid bitch said that their brothers and their dads and their moms care that the women are going to get sentenced to death. And she said, get the picture because she's murdering me and saying, get the picture that I don't care that she's a woman that needs sentencing to death. And that people want her sentenced to death. And mind you, the people that I'm talking about are Beyonce, Obama, Donald Trump. But these psychopath terrorists, they know the laws that govern over these weapons, and they know that the United States has allies, alliances with people that they want to maintain. And so they're playing on all of that to keep themselves from getting sentenced to death. Otherwise, they would have been dropped a long time ago. So they learn the ins and outs of their relationships and the laws and everything. And that is the only reason why they're still here today. Otherwise, they would have been sentenced to death. So I want to make it very, very clear what the United States is still abiding by the laws that govern over these weapons. That's why it's taking them so long to sentence these terrorists to death. But they've made obvious progress, and I'm going to make it clear. I'm going to take. They made it so that these terrorists have to talk in my head. Not have to, but they cornered them basically. Either they can turn themselves in or find, and these terrorists turn themselves in, or they get investigated with this weapon if I start to scream and cry and say I'm being murdered. So now that I'm crying and screaming and saying the terrorists talking in my head are trying to work on my confidence. So I want to make it clear. I want to take extra steps to make sure that the records are not tampered with, that the terrorists can't manipulate them, and that there's more sources of evidence to lay on top of whatever the United States has, so that these terrorists can get sentenced to death. They are talking in my head. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're constantly trying to sound like voices coming from outside. I want to make it clear what I'm hearing in my head I can't capture on this live stream. They're not close enough in proximity to catch them ever anywhere where I'm at, and they know where I'm at all the time. So why would they be anywhere where their presence would be questionable when I'm saying it's them talking in my head at this point? You know what I'm saying? It's like now I'm saying I hear them in my head. Why in God's name would any of these bitches be anywhere close by? So furthermore, so that even that causes them to distance themselves even more. So I want to make it super duper duper clear. There are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head, trying to make it sound like their voice is coming from outside when they're not. They know where I'm at. They know that it's a conflict of interest. On top of the fact I'm saying that they're talking in my head, and if they're anywhere in proximity, it would look suspicious. So they're not here. They're not here. They're not going to be anywhere where I'm at, especially now. So I just want to make it clear. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head. I want them sentenced to death. They're refusing to stop talking. So for whatever, I'm going to take it for what it is, that this must be their only way out. And I want to make it super clear while I can that they're getting sentenced, that I can't hear them. I can't capture their voices. And that I'm going to keep saying it, keep seeking medical attention. I'm going to keep doing everything to make it very, very clear that they're manipulating the records, that they're playing with the medications, that they're drugging people, that they're the rape. They're constantly saying how I'm ugly and how they're making my hair fall out and worried about my appearance all the time, telling me how they have men that love them and how nobody is making their hair fall out. I mean, it is constant. Like this is rape because they're trying to manipulate me into being promiscuous, and then deciding whose company is appropriate to suit their agenda for me to be in. And just this is ongoing. I want them sentenced to death. Look at my face is extremely swollen. They don't want me looking attractive for the pictures, for if we take pictures at my sister's dinner tonight. Dude, I'm so done. I'm done with these terrorist women. I want them sentenced to death. They're popping out terrorist babies. They're raising terrorists just like their moms did. And this is never going to stop. I want them sentenced to death. Do you hear me? This is never going to stop until the women get sentenced to death. Oh, I'm done arguing. We're not arguing. Does that sound like we're arguing? Out of your mind if you thought that was arguing. Leah, you have to do your hair now. Now. Stop blowing me off and get in the shower. Stop blowing me off and get in the shower. Stop blowing me off and get in the shower right now. So we can go to the mall, please. Stop blocking me out. Get out. Go. Come on. Now. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. Hi, you're here? Hi. Hi. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm in the house. I was Susie. That's why I brought you Susie. That is why I brought you as a pair. Not so that I can play with you, so Susie can play with you. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Run, run, run. It's just hyper. It's just hyper. It's just hyper.
Yeah. How long am I gonna wait? Long enough to make it obvious? You have plenty of time to approve it. Are you trying to get me kicked off of YouTube? Are you trying to get me kicked off of YouTube? Because you did it, so what's the point in talking about it?
Dude, I want you to see how vulnerable I am. I'm in my shower and they are screaming so it's like I want to turn off the water so I don't shower. They don't want me to shower. Look at what they're doing to my forehead. They're causing me all of this, like the screaming isn't just screaming, it's them attacking me with the weapon. And it sounds like screeching, like ah, like with the sound of the water, so you want to turn it off to give yourself a break from the noise. They're psycho. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're talking in my head. I want them sentenced to fucking death. Look what they're doing. I want them sentenced to death. They're Egyptian American Muslim women. Women. They're having more kids. They're having more terrorist kids, dude. They need to be sentenced to death.
shop and brothers. Why don't you go and show them, stupid bitch? I'm seeking medical attention and no one's stopping me. You know you can prove it with this weapon. Dumbass bitch. Why are you sweating in my head? They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're talking in my head. I'm making it clear. I'm making it clear you don't have a point. I'm sorry, no one else heard you? You're not in this room. And I'm obviously not complaining. You psycho. Well, why don't you go say something? That's my point exactly. I'm not joking, you're getting sense. Bitch. Which of you bitches was the one that said we're at a party. Oh, party, bitch. What's your bitch and famous ninja, dumbass? Stupid bitch. Put your dip on your cup, right? Fuck you. It's disturbing me, bitch. Get sentenced to fucking death. I'm gonna watch you die the same way. Well, everything. We can still do it. It's just not considered. Like now. You need to go. You need to get in the shower. Please. Yeah, I don't want to be late. I don't want to be late today. I don't want to be the last one that always shows up. You don't run this, okay? My big mouth will. And I'm done talking, sweetheart. Okay? I'm ready to make a scene. I want it to be obvious. I hear you in my head and I don't care. I want you pushing me around so that I can't walk. I want people watching me to know that I don't do drugs. Like, I want to make a scene so people are watching me constantly. I don't want you getting away with a goddamn thing. You just don't know me. Obviously. Your parents, they were stupid. Did they think that I was gonna like go back and regress into the shy girl that I was? Look at this. دول هيموتوا قدام ربنا. بيتغاظوا and she looks too cute to me. They're gonna have a حفلة بدر. That's nice. Oh, everyone knows. عشان you have a حفلة in prison. مش هتبقوا مع بعض ولا؟ What's the difference? You're filthy anyway. شو هيك حلو صار. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 3:33 p.m.
Leah! There are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists trying to get me to commit suicide. They're screaming in my head while I'm blow drying my hair. When someone says they don't give a shit about you, that typically really means that they don't give a shit. Some of them. On the outside, but there's something wrong with their head. They have great surgeons. You can remember that the surgeon was probably cancer disease. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 3:41 p.m.
They're making me sweat. Look at it. They're making me sweat. There are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're attacking me. They're screaming. Like it's like several of them screaming at the same time. In my head. Go back. I'm live streaming. Go back. ده بقول لهم it's the women يلا بقى عندكم بنات fucking شغالين. Because I thought really good. Achoo! Leah! 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 You said 10 minutes. Where are you? Get in the shower. Okay, get in the shower, Leah, after you're done. I mean it. I mean it. I don't want to be late. Get in the shower. Right? They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're talking in my head. I'm trying to get dressed and they're making me look and sound like they're making me vulnerable. They're psycho. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're making me scream. Mika, 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 you gotta wipe your face. Mika, oh, I'm sorry. Yep, it goes over the rest. the child is coming, everybody. Do you have your handkerchiefs ready? Everybody. No, يوسخ واحد بس. Give him another one. He might stare at the handkerchief. Oh, that's sweet. It's so clumsy. So, makeup. Lee. Leah. Lee. Leah. Leah. Are you in the shower? No, you're not. No, you're not. Liar. You better be. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 4:13 p.m.
Leah, I mean it. You need to be ready in you have 2 hours. Thank you. Work is okay with you, Colin. Was that one? I used to talk to you. When I made it clear, I don't give a shit. If people know that I hear you in my head. And that people know that that I'm explaining, like no one, I don't care what it sounds like to people. Right. The entire time there have been Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists screaming in my head, I want them sentenced to death. Do you hear me? Sentenced to death.